Hello, folks. So let's speak about the month of June. We've almost arrived. This month will be a turning point for many. A new leaf, a new chapter. You will see it gradually turn into a new chapter mid-month onward. The first week may still be a little bit difficult. Some people would have faced some abrupt endings in the last few weeks, and so the residue of this will continue into the first couple of weeks of this month. But you would be able to see the light at the end of the tunnel now if you're ending big life chapters, especially if those life chapters are connected to relationships. So let's speak about June. So June starts with a positive omen. Mercury has moved direct by now, and Jupiter and Rahu are now beginning to move away from each other, lessening the ominous effects of that Guru Chandal Yoga. Another welcome change this month will be Ketu's movement. Ketu moves into Chitra and away from Rahu's nakshatra of Swati. Saturn will move retrograde, its usual annual transit. Venus is now in Cancer since May the 30th, joining Mars again. So we know relationship turbulence is not yet quite over. Mars and Venus together, and the eclipse drama continues in Venus and Mars ruled signs. Continue into the summer months till August with Venus's upcoming transit, which I'll talk about in detail later on. So if you're going through Mars or Venus Dasha, you will experience some relationship drama, no doubt. There could be tension for some people, and for other people there will be some fresh starts. Old relationships can also return now, and you can also have some passionate encounters with the connection of Venus and Mars, especially being that it's happening in Cancer and then Leo. For Aries, what's happening? All the attention is again on you this month, and life will finally take a new direction. Something that perhaps some of you have been waiting for a long time. Of course, the only thing is, it's going to happen quite swiftly. And it may not be a gentle change. Yeah. To begin with, the month starts with Jupiter, Rahu, and Mercury in your first house. Again, making you stand out in some way. You can have a lot on your hands and still be dealing with relationship problems with Venus's movement into Cancer in your fourth house. This will bring some healing and some enjoyment, especially if you are faced with domestic issues or relationship strife. Normally, Mercury does well in the first house, but for Aries, Mercury is a troublesome planet ruling the third and the sixth house. It could get you into trouble with speech. It could get you into trouble with being impatient, impulsive. And you could also be feeling out of sorts due to high levels of stress that you may have been enduring with all these planetary placements in Aries. All planets have been impacting Aries. Right? You're also getting Saturn's aspect there. Jupiter's presence, however, will finally start to feel good. Jupiter moving away from Rahu will give you your confidence back as well. It's a good time to go socialize, go out. It'll help you get out of your head. Mercury's movement into Taurus on June the 7th will bring relief. And this is also a very good transit for money matters. You have 5th Lord Sun moving into your 3rd house on June the 15th, which is a good Sun transit for you. Yeah. Romance can feature now. You could be meeting someone new. It's a great time for students, great time for traveling overseas. You have the support of others, especially elders. After the first week, you will feel much more relaxed because that difficult Jupiter-Rahu conjunction and the Mercury transit will be behind you. Yeah. Lagna Lord Mars is now moving through your 4th house. Great for reorganizing yourself around the house. All domestic matters can get more of your attention now as well. Here you will also feel more introverted. So it's a good time to rest. It's a good time to recharge because here Mars gets debilitated. Lagna Lord in 4th house from May 17th till July 1st could have you thinking about property matters. Connecting with your family as well. You'll be irritable though. You may be irritable though throughout this Mars transit, all of June. So be mindful of picking fights. There's a full moon in Scorpio on June the 4th. Here you can be feeling a little bit out of sorts as well. There's a party Vartan between the moon and Mars, right, at this time. So your 4th and 8th houses are getting impacted. Again, this impacts domestic matters. Something could come up suddenly with home-related stuff. So if you can just stay calm for that first week, things really improve after that. Venus 7th Lord is in 4th house all month with Mars. So this can be beneficial for keeping the emotions calm. It's also a good time for spending at home, and you would likely want to do that rather than socialize or connect with others. You might feel introverted at this time. On June 15th, Sun moves into Gemini. Excellent transit for you. Now would be a good time to plan a trip if you were thinking about it. We have a new moon cycle on June 18th in the sign of Gemini. This takes place in your 3rd house as well. This is an excellent new moon cycle for networking, for starting something new, for taking initiatives, reaching out to others. Movement of Ketu out of Swati is excellent for relationships, especially if you've been going through a nodal dasha. Yeah. Saturn's retrograde cycle can help you complete some old projects, work-related stuff, career-related stuff. If you had some pending karma related to old connections also, this will dissolve once and for all in that Saturn retrograde phase. Yeah, this can be connected to your image or career in some way. First half of month is good for rest and relaxation, and then things will pick up the second half for you. Yeah, Taurus. Well, we start the month with Lagna Lord Venus in moving into the 3rd house, which is not a great place for Venus. It joins Mars there, so you can bring up some disputes, especially in your close relationships. It could also be with close associates, with siblings. With a 6-12 axis so lit up, there can be a lot going on behind the scenes, and you may be keeping secrets now. With Saturn moving retrograde in that 10th house, old actions can now come back to haunt you. So be ethical with your dealings. Its aspect on your 7th house is not good for marriage or close relationships. It can also mean spontaneous connections and affairs for some people. Jupiter's aspect on the 6th can be good for health issues that may have troubled you and can bring some good news. Yeah. Be watchful of anxiety. You may have trouble sleeping now. It's good for making amends with relationships gone sour if you needed to do that. 7th Lord Mars moving to the 3rd house can mean a good time for new initiatives, especially if you're self-employed or have your own business. So that's perhaps where you want to spend that excess energy. Yeah. Though be cautious with taking unethical actions, as I said, with Saturn's position. This could come back to haunt you. There's a full moon cycle on June the 4th. Here there can be some culmination with relationship matter. Sun moving into your 2nd house mid-June. This can bring some relationship strife, disagreements with money matters at home. There's a new moon also there on June the 18th in Gemini. With Mercury in your 1st house from June the 7th, this will give you the resources to think and plan strategically. All right, so what's happening for Gemini? Similar to last month, this month starts with Mercury Lagna Lord in the 11th house with Rahu and Jupiter and Sun, which is an excellent transit. Though it can feel stressful as well. But with the Guru Chandal Yoga separating, now you can feel more normal. It can help with learning new skills, networking, career progress. Earnings can get a boost now. Mars in the second house can cause problems at home, especially in close relationships and family members. Relationships could also suffer now with your intimate partners, with your siblings. Venus moving into Cancer is a supportive transit for you and can bring relief to relationship problems. It's good also for spending time with family and children, if you have them. You have a full moon in your 6th house on June the 4th. This could bring a culmination in an ongoing dispute, and you could see a closure of sorts now. Relationships, however, can feel unstable at the moment with Mars and Venus in that 2nd house. Lagna Lord Mercury in the 12th house from June the 7th onward is not favorable, but can be good for finishing up tasks, dealing with old problems. Sun moving into your house mid-month is a supportive transit, and it can have you feeling more confident after a few rough months. Great time for asserting yourself and asking for what you want. There's a new moon in your sign on June the 18th, and this would be a good time to move ahead with your plans, especially if they're related to making any kind of fresh starts. You'll want to be more visible mid-month onward. You'll want to be more visible, more extroverted now. Cancer, what's happening for you? You have 5th Lord in Lagna. Mars is an excellent planet for you, but Mars here can have your mind feeling a little bit agitated, a little bit troubled at this moment. You may be tempted to take unethical actions, so be watchful there. Mind can also feel like restless, especially if you have had career problems. It can be difficult for relationships as well, with its aspect on the 7th house. If you're looking for a job or a change of career, you will see some breakthroughs now with this Mars transit. Life at your workplace could have been stressful with the eclipses in your 410 axis, and instability for unexpected changes can feature this month. Not until the end of the month will you feel relief in these areas of life. Full moon in 5th house on June the 4th can bring some past actions to light. The truth can come to light now. Venus in your 1st house of Cancer can have your focus on relationship matters now. Also supports a domestic move or travel abroad. So much focus on the 410 angles means some foundation is being redesigned in your life. So it could be related to career, it could be related to your home situation. It's a good time for managing property matters with that 410 axis so strong this month. Sun moving into your 12th house mid-month can make you feel out of sorts. It's a good time to rest. It's a good time to feel rejuvenated the 2nd half of the month, right? Because that 12th house is lit up. There's also new moon happening in your 12th house on June the 18th. If you're making an international move, either because of a job or just a desire to move abroad, then this is the time to plan for it. Mercury in Taurus all month is a good transit. It can boost your earnings. It's also fantastic for networking opportunities. Expenses, however, can increase certainly this month. Overall, it's a good month to plan. And I would say if you can take like the big actions next month, that would be better. So Leo, what's happening for you? You start the month with Lagna Lord in 10th house. This can put the spotlight back on work, career, image matters. Lagna Lord moving into the 11th house on June the 15th is also an extroverted transit and can have you focusing on meeting others, networking, socializing. Money matters will also see some improvement when Mercury moves into Taurus on June the 7th. This may have been an area of concern for many, especially with that 8th house Jupiter transit you had for so long. Full moon in your 4th house on June the 4th can see culmination in property issues. You may be spending more at home, seeking a suitable place to buy, or thinking of selling your own place. It's the time to do that. Mars in the 12th with Venus. This can indicate behind the scenes activity with your work. It can also indicate problems that have been ongoing. You need to sort of sort them out once and for all. It would be a good time to plan but not take decisive action at the moment. Wait till next month when planetary alignments for taking action and making a lot of progress will actually appear for you. This Venus transit can increase your expenses, so curb the spending where possible. You could be spending money related to your home. Expenses could also go up. So take it slow there, I suppose. Jupiter moving away from Rahu is excellent for you, and this can see your luck improve, finally. You may have suffered some setbacks in May. Now things will turn around for you. You will get some lucky breaks. Yeah. Lagna Lord Sun moving into Leo mid-June, and a new moon cycle there on June the 18th is an excellent transit for you and can bring some good news as well. It's also a good time for a fresh start, a new chapter in relationships, in putting any goals into practice, and even just socializing with others. So mid-month onward, better for you. Virgo, for you, all the action has been in your 8th house. There was an eclipse there that could have brought some news about your financial situation. There's a lot of focus on money, perhaps investments, and getting your finances organized. Now is the time to do that. Looking at new sources of income. With Jupiter's help, you could finally see a breakthrough here. Maybe finding better deals with your mortgage, for instance. Yeah. If you're studying or researching a new subject, you can see some breakthroughs now as well. Because it's 7th Lord in the 8th house, there can be troubles in relationships or a separation with a loved one. An old relationship that has not been working now will dissolve. Venus in Cancer confirms troubles in relationship, and joining Mars there can create more difficulties. It's a good transit for money matters, though. Income source is good. Spending time with family now, good way to balance out any relationship conflicts that you may be going through. If you were searching for a new career or a source of income, you would have found it now. Full moon happens in 3rd house on June the 4th. It can be difficult. You can be feeling anxious. It can also lead to muddled communications at this time. Pay attention to health matters. Stresses can be high for you now. You have Lagna Lord Mercury in Aries, so this adds to that stress factor. Yeah. Mercury going to Taurus on June 7th, excellent transit for you. Now you'll start to feel the stress dissipate somewhat. Good time to travel, good transit for students who are initiating new works. It could be a new business also that you're initiating. Sun moving into 10th house mid-month is excellent for career matters. It's a good transit to connect with others, and it can make you feel very extroverted. Yeah. Any hidden matters can also come to light now. There's a new moon there as well on June the 18th, which will help bring back focus in your life and especially into your career. Yeah. It's also a better time to take any decisive action at this time. This month is better and easier to navigate in the second half. So you can resist taking action until a Lagna Lord moves into 9th house on June the 7th. That's better for you. Libra, what's happening for you? You're finally moving away from the spotlight a little bit. Yeah. Though the focus is still on your relationships, as it has been for this past year. with so much energy in that 7th house. It can, either you've been busy with a partner, either there's been, there could have been conflict, certainly. If you're single now, it's a time to sort of make yourself more visible, especially with that Jupiter Rahu separating aspect now. Yeah. It is, however, still difficult energy for attracting a stable relationship. But now Rahu and Jupiter, as I said, move away from each other. And by June 21st, when Jupiter enters Parani, it will reduce the impact of this Guru Chandal Yoga. Yes. You have a full moon in Scorpio in your 2nd house, and this can bring some hidden issues to light, particularly related to family life. It can have you thinking about money matters, especially new ways of earning money. When Saturn moves retrograde mid-month, then you can see some positive changes there. After Ketu leaves Swati on June the 26th, you may want to think about what you need in a relationship and in a relationship partner. You may feel the pressure from a relationship partner for a commitment, or you can see people coming into your life and leaving just as quickly. Right? 7th Lord Mars continues its journey in your 10th house, so it's a good time to focus on work, career matters. Try to remain free from relationship drama. You may not get sound advice, being Mars is not a favorable planet for you, and it's debilitated in Cancer. Oh. Mars aspects on the 5th house can get you into petty confrontations with your children. You also may not be thinking clearly now, so don't make rushed decisions. Sun moving into Gemini mid-month is a positive transit for you, and now things can make a turn for the better, right? Happening in the auspicious 9th house, you can feel your luck has somehow turned now, and things are improving for you. A new moon in the 9th house on June 18th can be uplifting, and if you wanted to take a trip, this can be the time to get away, especially if it's related to money matters. By the end of the month, Mars will also leave for Leo, which is an excellent Mars transit for you coming up in July. So then you'll get your drive back, you'll get your energy back. Take care of your health and well-being, as stress levels can be high this month. Things improve after mid-month though. Yeah. Scorpio, what's happening for you? For you, this month starts with a full moon in your house, which can feel like a fresh start and a welcome change. Life could have been quite stressful with so much energy in the 6th and 8th houses. Yeah. Pay particular attention to your health and stress levels with all that 6th house action and Lagna Lord in debility. It's a good time to change your routine for the better with so much focus on the 6th house. Trying new regimes like yoga, spiritual practices is good now, right? And it can work wonders. Mars in the 9th house is normally an excellent transit, but with Venus there, it can bring some strife in relationships. It can bring some problems with partners due to miscommunications. Sun moving into your 8th house mid-month can bring some unexpected shifts in your career life now. Yeah. So stay out of workplace drama, disagreements. This is an excellent time for closure, or if you have to move on from an old job or from an old relationship. Yeah. It's a difficult month, so I would say take it easy. Next month, a lot better. Sagittarius, what's happening for you? The month starts with a full moon in your 12th house, so this is a good time to rest, to rejuvenate. Lagna Lord, Jupiter in 5th house, moving away from Rahu is also a relief. It's a good time to work behind the scenes and not yet announce any big plans that you may have. Yeah. In the same way, refrain from decisions regarding your business at the moment. If you have children, then you can face some stresses with them, as there may be many demands on your time at this time. Yeah. Mars and Venus in your 8th house can be difficult, and you can be feeling out of sorts, especially with your children. You may also be reorganizing your financial situation at this time. Don't make impulsive decisions. I would say wait till next month, if possible, to act. Yeah. A new moon in your 7th house on June the 18th can be excellent for relationships. A new chapter can also begin now. If you're single, then you can meet someone now. Definitely you will be popular at this time. Yeah. So life improves mid-month onward. Capricorn, what's happening for you? Well, the month starts with 7th Lord in 11th house. And here we also have a full moon. There is at the same time a conjunction of Venus and Mars in your 7th house. So this can lead to some passionate affairs. If you're in a committed relationship, however, there can be some fights. There can be some drama. This could also be because of outside influences on that relationship. External factors, yeah, which have nothing to do with the two of you. If you have your own business, it's an excellent month. You can see some gains. Carry out your actions ethically, if you can, with a little bit of strategy, and you can see some progress. You may be moving or planning a move, as there's still a lot of focus on that 4th house with the eclipse is taking place there. Swift changes in your residence are on the way this summer with that Venus's long transit in your 7th and 8th house. It could be connected to a relationship as well. Changes in your job could also support a residential move. And this could happen quite suddenly for you. Your Lagna Lord is strong now. For those with Capricorn moon, this is the last leg of your Sadhi phase. But transit through the 2nd house can see you go through some money restrictions. Lagna Lord going retrograde can bring some delays to your plans and also have you looking for different sources of making money. Sun moves to Gemini, your 6th house, on June the 15th, where there's a new moon cycle beginning as well on June the 18th. This can bring some challenges in relationships or a break or separation, depending on what dasha actually you're going through. That's got a lot to do with it. There's a lot of changes happening in your domestic sphere anyway. Mars 4th Lord moving into your 7th house can bring disagreement in relationships, obviously. First half of the month would be better for you. The best news is that that Guru Chandal Yoga becoming less intense. This is also helpful for you. Aquarius, what's happening for you? Well, we start the month with a full moon taking place in your 10th house. This could bring some changes in career matters. Sudden event could arise at your workplace. It could be a disagreement with a colleague at this time. Since you have Saturn in the 1st house, career progress is on your mind and you can be going through some stress here. There's a lot of energy in your 3rd house. Something could come up with your younger siblings as well now, right? There could be a disagreement there. Relationships can bring some fights and arguments now with that Venus in the 6th house. There can also be some struggle with your workplace or your career. Pay attention to your health, as Saturn in that 1st house can be difficult. Yeah. If you ever thought about having your own business, then this is the time to plan and strategize in this area of life. Sun's movement into your 5th house mid-June is a good transit for you. There's also a new moon cycle there on June the 18th. It will ease some of the problems that may have come up with that troublesome Venus transit. So keep communication simple now, as that will help you. Yeah. There's a lot of focus on connecting with others now, and things can happen very quickly now if you are making new starts, particularly related to career matters. Lagna Lord Saturn going retrograde mid-June can be a difficult transit. It can bring some health issues to the surface. Mid-month can also have you feeling tired, low in energy. With the 6th house afflicted, you can feel a little bit drained by other people, actually. So a busy 3rd house can help you be active, keep going, do something physical, right, to help maintain the balance now in your life. So Pisces, what's happening for you? Well, the month starts with a full moon taking place in your 9th house. So travel can certainly come up now. It will likely be a pleasurable trip if you do go somewhere. Best news is Lagna Lord Jupiter in 2nd house starting to move away from Rahu. This is another month to look into your finances. See where you need to make some changes in this regard. Especially a good time to get your joint finances in order with your partner. But not a good time to take risks and make finance deals unless you're doing it with family members. Yes. Lagna Lord is favorably positioned for you in the 2nd house, especially the case. This is especially the case if your moon is in Pisces. Mercury moving into your 3rd house on June 7th is an excellent transit. Sun, 6th Lord, moving to the 4th house can bring some conflict at home, which is mid-month. Of course, there's a new moon also happening there in your 4th house, right? Which can have you making some changes in home. Good time to do that. If a move is on the cards, it will be a profitable one now. Saturn moving retrograde mid-month is also a good transit for you and can give you some lucky breaks now. Now is a good time to seek solutions in these areas of life. It's also a good month for those that have a business or are self-employed, right? You can enjoy a good steady month of profits now. Generally, it's an excellent month in career matters. Domestic situation could face some changes, some unwelcome changes as well. There's a lot of concentration on finances for you this month, so it's a good time to take charge with these matters now. Yeah. So that's all for now. All the best.